you start with that rubber because it teaches them how to pick one up without hurting themselves. You put the scent on it to give it some kind of deer smell. Then you switch to a hard antler about the same size. Then you start hiding it, and all they want to do is bring it back to you so they can go back again. That's the only thing they're doing. It's not a retrieve so much as it is, hey, I found this. You want it?
You can't. It's hard to see blood. To me, it is.
Well, I got over there and I found a bunch of blood in the field. So I was like, well, we got to hit. So I called you, and he's like, come look. I went ahead and, marked what we found. Didn't go push it or anything. But you brought Sadie, my dog over there. And she loves to go find them. She's not been trained, but she's found several for us this year.
She's tracked everyone.
She don't bark at all neither, though. She just goes to it.
But I like how she works because she'll never get out of sight. And she's always going to return to you. So what she does, every time I've worked her, she'll get out there, you get her on the blood, I'll stop her, let her smell, and as soon as she smells it, she's nose to the ground, she's gone. And she'll go about 20 yards in front of you, and she'll stop, and she'll come back to you. And she'll go 20 yards and come back to you. If she ever does not come back to you, she's at the deer. There's no question about it.
See, my lab, Ammo, that's how he's done. He don't bark, but he's found a couple of deer, but he will go to the deer, and you got to kind of pay attention to where he goes because, but he will come back.
Sadie never gets out of sight, and if she ever does not return to you, like that's what she's done on three of them.
She stops on the deer.
Yeah. Just buy a bell and put on her.
Well, I was thinking
that's what Jimmy did.
Call her with a light where you can see where she is out there. A lot of time, the only thing we did with her, she's been to retriever training. She's been to obedience training. So she's okay at that. But with the deer recovery, I just took some old legs and would have Michael put them on chain and just drag them. And that's the only thing we've ever done with her. Just, 200 or 300 yards and leave it and see if she could find them. She did that a couple times, and that's like, well, we'll see.
She has the mentality, which most labs do, that eager to please mentality. And Sadie is ate up with it. Yeah. Like, she wants to do whatever you want her to do, and she's not going to leave your side. And, she works well with me. Even though she's y'all's dog, she responds well to just about anybody. Mikey, Jamie.
She listens to y'all.
She's a
good dog. She's a real good dog.
But
how's Gus doing on his shed? See, that's what I got me one of them shed trainers like you did to start working with her on that.
So Gus is not even supposed to remotely have a care in the world about a shed. Like, he is not the dog for it. But I got a dog, and he covers more ground than I do, so I'm going to work him. And he does very well as far as the retrieving the shed. And I could be wrong about this, but my biggest thing that I've read and researched is that it's not that the dog is technically hunting the shed. The dog's just able to cover more ground than you, and you want that dog to learn to pick that shed up without poking their eye out and bring it back to you. So if the dog's 30 yards to the right and it's in cover you can't see and it finds a shed, it brings it to you. But he's done good. And he found sheds last year. Now, I'm not going to say he's no full-on Labrador hunting dog or nothing like that, but he enjoys it.
I think it's what I read, it was the calcium smell that stays with the shed so long. It's not actually the scent of the deer that stays on the shed.
But
the little training book, I think it's the dog bone trainer. It's like a little rubber antler, and it comes with its scent stuff, and it says it's like scent of deer, blood, and calcium or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, the one I got, I can't smell. Like, it really doesn't have a scent.
I didn't open it yet, but
the first one I got, I think they got the ends mixed up.
You had the skunk.
Man, I ain't never smelled it like that. It was horrible.
Rio might be, if he don't like guns, he might like shed hunting though.
He might.
But the whole thing so the deal with that was you start with that rubber one because it teaches them how to pick one up without hurting themselves. And you put the scent on it after a couple of weeks of just getting them playing with them with the rubber one. You put the scent on it to give it some kind of deer smell. Then you switch to a hard antler about the same size. Then you start hiding it, and all they want to do is bring it back to you so they can go back again. That's the only thing they're doing. It's not a retrieve so much as it is, hey, I found this. You want it? Yeah.
It's not. I think I guess when we first started talking about shed hunting and getting our dogs involved, I always thought like these guys that had the shed dogs. Like, you turn them out like a rabbit dog, and they go find a shed, it's not like that. In my opinion, it's not.
Yeah. They're just, like you said, they're covering more ground.
They're covering 100 times more ground than you are.
And they got a better nose and probably better eyes when it's coming to seeing stuff like that.
Now, the head we found off that deer last year, Gus found it. If it wasn't for him, we never would have found it. Like, he went to it right out the gate, and I guess it still had some meat, so I'm sure it stunk,
Yeah.
But he It's something to do. Like, I wouldn't be discouraged if you don't have what they consider a lab or a dog that's meant for a retriever dog, or get out there and work any of them. I mean, I wouldn't do it with a Chihuahua, but I mean,